This week on the Socratic Cinema podcast, Charlie was just intimidated by a powerful black woman.
Oh my God,
Literally,
James.
that's
Don't
it.
you even do that to me.
Damn. Gotta call Ray Fisher up again.
Mulan, the one and only Ivan, and Tenet. 3,
Tenet.
2,
Sorry.
Tenet.
Dang it, sorry.
Go.
Glorious nation of Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Oh my
Kazakhstan.
Flip it and ship it,
Kazakhstan.
Riley. Throw Kazakhstan straight to the front. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Socratic Cinema podcast. My name is James DeLisio.
I'm Charlie Heatherly.
And I'm Kasey Clark.
And we're coming at you live with a special evening edition fireside chat episode of the Socratic Cinema podcast. I say evening because it's 4:54 p.m. right now as we're recording, which is out of the norm for us. That's not normal. We're kind of a morning podcast. Let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments, what time do you normally listen to the Socratic Cinema show? I'd be interested to
good
hear.
question.
Ooh, yes.
Now, today, this week, I would like to entertain me, if you will. I'd like to walk back down memory lane to 1 year ago when we gave our predictions for the 2020 Academy Awards. The good old days. It was not. It was a good
Simpler
time.
times.
Memories.
Joker was a thing. Everyone was everyone was freaking out that Adam Driver could get angry and yell in Marriage Story. It was just. It was a
How-
trip.
Every day
How
I
dare
wake
you.
up.
That he was incredible in that movie. I don't want to hear it.
I once saw someone say that getting angry is the easiest kind of acting, and we continue to give Academy Awards for it. And I just thought that was funny.
If Joaquin Phoenix could act as himself with some makeup on, I think that Adam Driver can yell. I'm just saying.
Dang.
I'll-
You really
you're-
said he was an incel.
You make some points, and I'll forever be angry that Jojo Rabbit did not win anything except for adapted screenplay. Should have won Best Picture. Changed my mind. Let's get it redacted. Let's rerun those Oscars. But we're gonna do something similar today. No specific movie. We've all been doing our Oscar homework over the past couple weeks. We've done Minari. We've done Judas and the Black Messiah. We've done Sound of Metal, and we've been watching some more Oscar picks independently on our own. And so today we're coming together to give you a, how do you say, informative, comedic, entertaining look at the 2021 Academy Awards. There'll be laughs. There will probably be some tears. And I want to put a disclaimer out. These may not necessarily be what we predict will win in real life, but it's more, if we were the judges, what do we want to win? Like, because there's a big difference, you know? I mean, last year, anyone could have told you that Joaquin Phoenix was probably going to win Best Actor, but in my heart, I think I wanted Adam Driver to win, right? They're different. So we're going to be speaking from the heart, because the heart wants what the heart wants. And that may or may not line up with the official Academy picks, but, you know, I think by the time this episode comes out, we'll find out tomorrow when the Academy Awards happen. Let's hope nothing changes with scheduling and that still makes sense when this comes out. But without further ado, welcome to the 2021 Socratic Cinema Academy Awards prediction game night extravaganza. Let's clap it up.
Yay!
Hear it.
Ah,
Woo!
I hope you're ready.
Excitement.
For our first category of the evening, we're gonna dive right in. I don't know. Should we dive in with the main event? You think? Maybe I should start the stopwatch. That's something else I could do. But
perhaps.
it might be so we don't, so we don't ramble on past our.
I say we come in spicy, but not too spicy, right? Like we got to go like halfway. So I think we go Best Actor, and then we save Best Picture for a little bit later. You know, we can't start off at 100%.
You're right. You got to work our way up, climb the ladder. Best Actor, you say?
That is my suggestion.
Yes.
All right,
I concur.
We're pulling it in. The first category of the night is Best Actor. And here are the nominees. Riz Ahmed for his performance in Sound of Metal. Chadwick Boseman for his performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins in The Father. Gary Oldman in Mank. And Stephen Yeun in Minari. Ladies and gentlemen, the panel is open. let's discuss. So, are there any movies on this list that we haven't seen? Let's get our bases straight first.
Everyone on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mank.
None of us have watched Mank.
None of us
Awful.
watched.
No interest.
It
was-
looks interesting at all.
It's for a different. It's not for our generation. We take pride in being by the youth for the youth, and Mank is not a movie for the
We
youth.
are hip. This is true.
You're
Hello,
hip and
kids.
cool.
I think we've seen Sound of Metal. We've seen Ma Rainey. We've seen Minari. Don't think I didn't watch The Father independently. Did any of you guys?
No, that was
Okay.
yeah. I
Yeah.
I didn't make it.
Fair enough. So, who wants to cast their pick first? Because this I feel like is an interesting category with a lot of good picks. And
Mhm.
remember, this could be who you think is going to win, or it could just be who you want to win. But I'm opening the floor, so someone step on up and take the mic.
You should go for it, Kasey. I want to
Yeah.
hear what you think between the 3 that we've seen, because they're strong contenders, and I have a feeling that you and I are going to have a peaceful conversation about who was the better actor.
Yes. You know what? Let's see. Because I feel like in my perfect world, Lakeith Stanfield would be up here, Academy.
Yes.
But you know, it's fine. They're both just supporting act. Their names are in the same size font, I guess. But between Riz Ahmed, Chadwick Boseman, and Steven Yeun, I will have to give it to Chadwick Boseman. I'm sorry, not sorry about it. I just remember watching Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and him just there wasn't a scene that he was in that he didn't kill. But I also will not be mad if any of the other people win, because I know that Steven Yeun, Yen even being nominated is such a big thing. So if he wins, period, good for him. Like, I'll be on top of that as well. But I definitely think there's a really high probability that it's going to Chadwick Boseman. And I agree, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I think that Chadwick is probably going to be the one to win it. And I also agree that all of these guys that we've seen are phenomenal, and I think they all did a great job. But to me, I liked Riz's performance better, although I'm entirely happy to see Chadwick or Steven win, because again, everyone did great. To me, Riz just he was able to go between such subtle, like, incredible anxiety that was barely being hidden by his sort of jokey outer facade at the very beginning of the movie, to him sort of devolving into these more violent outbursts and eventually coming to terms with it and looking genuinely happy in a way that I think is probably pretty hard to pull off. So I think the range that I saw from Riz Ahmed in that film was really awesome and really cool to see. And it's nice to know that he's finally doing something that puts him out there that's not Star Wars Rogue One. or yeah, I was gonna say Rogue Squadron. That's the Patty Jenkins one, I think. But yeah, so that's why I would give it to Riz.
Riz Ahmed, I think Charlie made a good point that it comes down to range. Chadwick Boseman's performance was so incredibly powerful in Ma Rainey, but there wasn't quite, I guess, the range. It was just sort of all passion all the time, I guess. And that's partly the character. I mean, I can't really nitpick that. His performance was incredible, but I think I agree with Charlie that Riz's his range was really, really impressive in Sound of Metal. And he really helped embody that sort of arc that Ruben goes through in the film. And yeah, so I think for that reason, I'm gonna have to give it to Riz, and I look forward to seeing more from him. Steven Yeun, you know, like you guys said, loved the performance. It'd be great to set a precedent, but I think in just like objective terms of you know, the impact their performance had, I just don't think it quite stands up to Chadwick or Riz for this year. So yeah, my pick is going to be Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal.
Fair. Yeah, so I think that this is a pretty stacked category, and I feel very confidently about my opinions in there. But a category I know absolutely nothing about, and I hope that you guys can enlighten me, is actress in a leading role. The nominees for this category are Viola are Viola Davis. That was the easiest name on this list to pronounce, and I somehow screwed it up. Andra Day, Vanessa Kirby, Frances McDormand, and Carey Mulligan. It seems that Vanessa Kirby was for Pieces of a Woman, and Carey Mulligan was from Promising Young Woman. So I hope that Promising Young Woman is okay, because it seems like she was shattered at some point. But yeah, so I have literally only seen Viola Davis out of this, and she was great, even though I was not the biggest fan of the character. But yeah.
Charlie was just intimidated by a powerful black woman.
Oh my God, James. Don't
it.
you even do that to
Damn. Gotta call Ray Fisher up again. I thought.
Ring, ring, ring.
He's cyborg,
Thought
so
he
the
had a
phone
day
just like
off.
pops out of his arm.
This just in, Charlie's just as bad as Joss Whedon.
Please. It's just like a receipt. He's like back at it again.
So, Kasey, I think you've seen the most of these movies. Because you've seen both Promising Young Woman and Pieces of a Woman, right?
I
Or-
haven't seen Pieces of a Woman.
Okay, I forgot if you said you did or didn't. You know, I got you.
Mhm.
Well, but do you want to start us off, Kasey, as our resident woman?
God damn it, James. Oh my God.
Kasey, would you do the pleasure of starting us off with your pick for Best Actress? Stop laughing.
Sure. Yes. Fine. You see, I'm being oppressed right now.
Colleges, don't
dang.
look at this. It's nothing to see here.
I'm joking. I'm joking. He's a upstanding feminist.
As are you, ma'am.
Okay, so James, you can speak on Nomadland. I can't speak on Nomadland, but in comparison between Promising Young Woman and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I'm gonna have to give it to Viola Davis. For a few reasons, watching Promising Young Woman, it's an interesting movie. It's a good movie, but I don't feel like it's, how do I say this without sound like I don't want to get like attacked or anything. So it's a good movie, but I feel like the subject matter is what's propelling it as far as it is, because the movie is okay. And I feel like the acting is okay. I feel like Carey Mulligan did what she needed to do in the role, but I don't feel like it topped what Viola Davis did. And that's my opinion.
Twitter's gonna kill you, man.
I know. They're
That is
like,
brutal.
I'm like, so you agree?
What is Promising Young Woman like even about?
Okay, so yeah, I can go into spoilers. So Promising Young Woman follows this woman named
Wait,
Kasey.
did you say you are gonna spoil it?
I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna.
Okay, hold on. You can spoil it. I just want to know so I can say now. Spoilers for every single movie that's been nominated.
Right, yes. Let's do that.
Okay, carry on.
Okay.
You had your warning.
So, Promising Young Woman is essentially a story about Kasey, who is a med school dropout, and she essentially has this. You could describe it as a hobby, but she goes to clubs and she pretends to be drunk so that quote unquote nice guys pick her up and try to take care of her by taking them back to their place and, try to coerce her, or it's essentially this big commentary on rape culture and consent and all that kind of stuff. So she goes on these like revenge, not necessarily a revenge plot, but she's been kind of doing this for years, where she's essentially like tricking these men, like pulling the Una reverse on them, where like they think she's incredibly like blacked out, and then she'll be like fully sober, like, what are you doing? I asked, what are you doing? Like yada yada yada, and completely just destroy them mentally and
Jeez.
then leave.
Dang.
And that's like her whole thing. And what really like drives her is that her best friend that she knew from childhood was assaulted by this guy that they went to med school with, and it was an incredibly horrible thing that happened that ended up with the girl, her friend, taking her own life. and she's just completely distraught about it to the point where she's still like living with her parents. She refuses to go out with just go out and date or even go out and be a person. She's just kind of working for this revenge and working to get back at men. And then essentially the whole like the climax of the story is her going after her friend's abuser who got off, who's getting married. So that's like her trigger throughout the entire movie of like, oh, well, he's going to like be able to have a good life and she's not. It got borderline lifetimey for me. Like it's like if Lifetime movies were actually good, like this would be the best top tier Lifetime BET daytime like movie ever.
Right. So, but not quite best
Oscar
actress level, you
worthy.
don't think?
Yeah, I don't think so. Not in my opinion.
I see.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely recommend watching it though. It's insane.
Huh. So Viola Davis for you then.
Yeah, but that's a
I'm
long-winded
sorry.
way to say.
All right. Well, Charlie, what do you think? Is the only one of these you've seen Ma Rainey, Charlie?
Literally Ma Rainey. I was going to ask you, how about Frances McDormand from Nomad then?
Right. Okay. So I guess it's my turn then. So, I mean, for me, it's between Viola Davis and Frances McDormand. I just watched Nomadland yesterday, and I gotta say, I really liked it. It reminded me a lot of Minari, and I think I liked a lot of the same things about them because they're very similar thematically and even in content. I mean, they're sort of these like love letters to like the American landscapes. It's just a really pretty movie, but that's we're not talking about best landscapes. I thought Frances McDormand's performance in Nomadland was really, really strong. I mean, it had to be strong because it was one of the only. It's a very solitary movie. It's lots and lots of it is just Frances McDormand, and it was really strong. It's a very subtle performance, a lot like Stephen Yeun's, but I think she offered a really, really realistic insight into this kind of woman who's been downtrodden. She lost her husband. Her whole town basically got eradicated via economic downfall during the recession, and so now she is a van dweller who sort of lives this like nomad life, moving across the country, doing odd jobs and stuff. And it's a really, really inspiring story, I guess. It just sort of it shows these sort of other ways of living and that like you can find meaning outside of corporate America and stuff. And it was just really nice to see. I think I enjoyed her performance more than Viola Davis. I'd maybe lean for Frances McDormand, but I wouldn't be surprised if Viola Davis got it, nor would I be upset. But I think personally, I'm going to go with McDormand.
Bold.
That's that.
Decisive.
Period.
I like it. I like it a lot. Which category do we want to tackle next then?
So I'm guessing your pick is Viola Davis, Charlie?
Well, I mean, I have no other choice, do I?
I have no-
Just want to lock it in for the
Viola Davis.
All right. So we've done the actor. We've done the actress. Let's talk animated movies. So the nominees for Best Animated Picture are Onward, Over the Moon, Shaun the Sheep, Soul, WOLFWALKERS. Now, I know we've all at least seen 3 of these. Right? We've all seen Onward, we've all seen Over the Moon, we've all seen Soul. Go check out our podcasts on all of those, by the way. They're all bangers.
Oh my God, that's right. We've done podcasts on literally all 3. That's crazy.
Except Over the Moon. I had my wrong mic in that one, so that's not really a banger. But
no,
anyways,
go listen to my argument at the end. It's a very good piece of rhetoric.
Either of us seen Shaun the Sheep? Any of us seen Shaun the Sheep? Any of us seen? Oh, have any of us seen WOLFWALKERS?
Yes.
Charlie, I'm gonna let you start this one off. What is your pick for Best Animated Feature?
Okay, definitely not Over the Moon. That movie was garbo, and I will stand next to that opinion until the day I die. Look, Onward, Soul, and WOLFWALKERS are all incredible, but I like very decisively have to give it to WOLFWALKERS. To explain why, because Soul and Onward are big hitter Disney Pixar films, WOLFWALKERS has an animation style that I've never seen put to the screen before. And I think that Cartoon Saloon, the studio that did the animation for WOLFWALKERS, they have other movies. One of them's The Book of Kells, and I hear that that's very good. But the way that they do their animation style is I want you guys to imagine like the banners and tapestries that you would see in like European castles. And then I want you to imagine all of this, or like a good portion of the scenes having that perspective on them. So what do I mean by that? If there is a scene with a table in it, then the way the table is drawn is you will see the side of the table with the legs, and then the top of the table is lifted up so you can see the entirety of it, like just facing you straight.
Oh, like the old. Yeah, I get it.
Yes. When they introduce these scenes where they incorporate that more traditional way of staging shots, it's wild because it just works so incredibly well and it fits the aesthetic of this film just very neatly. And I guess to explain that, WOLFWALKERS is a movie about, I believe it is Irish folklore. Celtic might be the better term for that, but it's about this type of person called a wolf walker who during the day is a average person, but at night or whenever you sleep, you turn into a wolf and can command a pack of wolves essentially. And the big overarching message of this movie is actually about environmentalism, which is really awesome.
Oh, getting some Mononoke vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, serious Mononoke vibes. Yeah. Basically, the village is trying to chop trees down. The WOLFWALKERS obviously want their trees in their home to stay. But the main character, the main girl in the film, her name is Robin, and her dad is Sean Bean. And guys, don't worry, the dad does not die. Sean Bean actually survived a movie. Crazy. The dad is a hunter who is tasked with killing all the wolves. And the girl, initially thinks that all wolves are bad, but she grows to, love the WOLFWALKERS after she has a run-in with one of the younger WOLFWALKERs. And then she eventually tries to like free the mother that's been trapped in, or the mother WOLFWALKER who's been trapped in the castle this entire time. Yada yada yada. Things ensue. Wonderful movie. Really great story. Fantastic voice acting, I will say. And yeah, they're also a great message. I think on par or better than the messages that I saw in Onward and Soul. So yeah, that's why WOLFWALKERS is the best one.
Sheesh. We're going in this year. Last year we were just like, this one next. Kasey, what about you?
Dang. Oh, it's so hard. Okay. So I didn't hate Over the Moon. Yeah, it's mid-tier in my opinion.
Same.
Like it's not like amazing. Respect the majority Asian cast though. Respect for that. But
True.
it just wasn't, give it an Oscar. Onward, man. Uh, Onward and Soul. Like if I have to do it between the ones that I've seen, because honestly, if WOLFWALKERS gets it from what Charlie's describing, I would be happy for that. Because it doesn't seem like it's from a super big like production. Like it's not like a Disney film getting it,
another Disney movie wins.
Yeah. So I'd be super excited about that and what that means in the future. But out of the ones that oh God, Onward and Soul. I feel like we all know why I'm a bit
What do you mean by
a
that?
bit caught up, because Soul is very important in the way that it has or for at least 25% of the movie has a animated black actor in it.
The discourse.
The discourse. But they did a lot of good world building surrounding the Black community, so I have to like keep that in mind. But then Onward also was just a really good a really great feel good movie. And I don't have as much of the qualms that I do with Soul that I do with Onward. So I will have to say Onward, and that will probably be one of the few not voting for a Black person off the bat. films that you're gonna
We
get
know how
for
Casey's
this
gonna be
year.
voting.
If they're black, I'm voting for them. Unless it's a
Listen,
horrible movie, but
you got to do what you got to do.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So it's no secret that I love Soul. I have written about it in a video essay on the channel. It's about one of my favorite things, which is jazz. I thought it has this really cool, like semi-existential message. Love Soul. I'm gonna have to give it to Onward though.
Yes.
Yes.
It's-
Loved Onward.
Onward was just so like. It's okay. Here's the thing. Soul was good, but I agree with a lot of the things Kasey pointed out. It's not perfect. And in terms of representation, neither is Onward. There was a lot of discourse over the like cop who was gay.
yeah,
That was
the
a little-
cop where
yep.
it's like, oh yeah, gay and voiced by Lena Waithe.
but overall, Onward I just thought had a much more like distilled message. It wasn't hopping on the deep Pixar train, which I've spoken about at length in our Soul podcast. Onward is just like straight up good movie, fun, charming fantasy story. Not much to complain about. I'm gonna give it to Onward because and go Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. What a joy, what a gift to see those two together.
Truly.
And for that, I'm gonna give it to Onward. Hold on, I gotta trying to remember which categories we've done and which we haven't yet. But next
We haven't
category.
done any supporting
This is true.
roles.
That's true. We've got the screenplays, supporting, director.
Oh, to get a supporting out real quick, actress in a supporting role, it obviously goes to the grandmother from Minari.
yes.
Yoo Jung Yoon is how I would pronounce her name. That is probably wrong though. Or
I'm not going
Jung
to correct you.
Yoon.
Just
yeah.
if
At
I'm
least
wrong,
you.
I am sorry.
Yeah.
I
don't
do
think
not-
we know any better.
Yeah. But yeah, I think she wins 100%. It's a bunch of other people, but like, come on, she destroyed it.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of these other movies except for Minari. So, but even if I had, I'd probably still give it to her. Yeah, she knocked it out of the park, and it would be cool to see some like age representation. I feel like a grandma. I
actually.
feel like a grandma
Mhm.
age Asian woman is not the demographic you'd expect for like the acting roles. It's always like
Mhm.
the young strapping, whatever. I just think that'd be neat to see, and she did a bang up job. So yeah.
Yeah.
Total
So
agreement there.
good.
Actor in a supporting role is a bit of a contentious category this year,
Oh boy.
being that the nominees are Sacha Baron Cohen for Trial of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Rachi for Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. I would like to apologize to Paul Rachi. I don't know how you say his last name. I just went with the more niche pronunciation because that's usually what it is.
No, he sounds Italian. I believe you would pronounce it Rachi then.
I don't think it should be Paul Rachi. I'm going to open the discussion with that.
I'll
I've
bet
seen
money
Sound
that
of
it's
Metal.
Paul Rachi.
You think it's going to be him?
Oh, no, I bet that's how it's pronounced.
the pronunciation.
No, I don't think the win is going to go to Paul Rachi.
He did really good though.
Yeah, but I think either
Everyone-
Daniel Kaluuya
yeah.
or Lakeith Stanfield would do better. Like both of those guys had the potential. Those were both best actor performances, and they're both in the supporting role category. I'm gonna give it to. I feel like Daniel Kaluuya is the popular pick, but I really liked Lakeith Stanfield's character. But I'm gonna give it to Daniel Kaluuya just because it was such a cool
Wow.
and fun. It was just such a fun
Wow.
performance. It was just such a fun performance, man. The way he just got so into it,
I'll
can't-
agree with you and quickly pass it over to Kasey because she has seen all these movies.
I
Every
have.
single one. Every single one.
Every single one.
Speak. Speak
Okay.
your truth.
So, Sacha Baron Cohen, Trial of the Chicago. First of all, once we get to talking about the movie for the year, I'm gonna go off for Trial of the Chicago 7 because
Ooh.
holy crap, that movie! Shout out Kyla for bringing it up in Gov.
Yes.
But that movie is amazing, and I'll get more into it later. Sadly, I would not give Sacha Baron Cohen it, even though he killed it, simply because my boys Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield are here. Leslie Odom Jr. did it, but thinking that he's in a supporting role solely be this is gonna sound mean, but because he not only sang but also acted his ass off, like that was like what bumped him. Because I would technically put the actor that did Malcolm in like over Leslie Odom Jr., but because, he can sang with an
Yeah.
A-N-G, that's why he's in the
Yeah, go get him,
supporting
Aaron
role.
Burr.
Yeah, go get him, Aaron Burr. But he did amazing in that movie. I definitely recommend watching One Night in Miami as well. But between Daniel and Lakeith, I would have to give it to Daniel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3
yeah.
for Daniel. Right?
Dang.
Woo!
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
What a
I'm still
stacked-
mad. I just want it to be reiterated that I'm mad
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're both
No,
in
definitely
the
fair.
category.
We're all mad. We're all mad.
Yes.
Let's run through some speed rounds. Let's run through some easy peasy ones. All right.
Alright.
Best visual. This is the Oscar speed round for the next few categories. I'm gonna rattle them off. You have like 3 seconds to answer. All right. Best visual effects. We got Love and Monsters. We got Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet. 3,
Tenet.
2.
Sorry.
Okay.
Dang it, sorry.
Go.
All right. Best production design. The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, Tenet. 3, 2, 1.
Tenet.
Tenet.
I'm gonna just say Tenet. I don't know.
Go.
Best makeup and hairstyling. Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Pinocchio. 3, 2, 1.
Ma
Emma.
Rainey's
Emma.
Black Bottom.
Emma.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say, I'm sorry. Listen, maybe it's the Anglo in
moving
me.
on.
Maybe it's the
It's the
Anglo in
Anglo.
me.
I legitimately,
Like,
I love
wow.
Anya Taylor-Joy, so I have to. I
The
apologize.
caucasity.
yeah,
The
look.
caucasity and the simp popped out for that
Listen,
one.
No,
Kasey,
I will
Gentlemen.
proudly simp. Are you kidding me? Anya Taylor-Joy, I hope you're listening. Because,
I was-
God.
Please hit him up.
Jeez, I'll do anything.
This is for best makeup and hairstyling, right? I feel like, okay, hold on. I know it's a speed round, but I feel like Viola Davis's character alone is what's pushing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom into makeup and hairstyling. Because like the rest of them were just in suits,
But I'm thinking about that tent scene where everyone was dripped down in
Yeah,
their
but-
country bumpkin best.
But there is some UK drip in Emma. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay, some Victorian,
there
James
is
is setting up a race war over here.
There is some Victorian
Dang.
fits that
It's
go
like
hard in Emma.
your corset has a Supreme logo. That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, I'm glad to see some Emma representation because that was a good movie. And listen, Ma Rainey got nominated for like 50 other things. We can give one to Emma. That's my take. That was
Damn.
maybe an
Okay.
unpopular take.
No, hey, I agree. I agree.
All right. Let's keep going. Best international feature film. None of us have seen any of these. I'm moving on. Best film editing. The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7.
Trial of the Chicago 7.
Sound of Metal.
Haven't seen it, so I'm gonna say Sound of Metal. Yeah, Nomadland was good, but Sound of Metal is noticeably better. Best cinematography. Let's do it. Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, Trial of the Chicago 7. 3, 2, 1. Nomadland.
Judas.
Dang it. Either Judas or Trial is a toss up.
Fair. Y'all gotta watch Nomadland. It was pretty good. Animated short film. Any takers here?
I watched Burrow, so I can
Was it-
say Burrow. It was good. It was cute.
Well, okay. All right. For sure. Moving on. Best costume design. Emma, Mank, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mulan, Pinocchio. Hold on. I'm changing it up. Hair and makeup goes to Ma Rainey. Costume goes to Emma. That's my amended take.
I double down on Emma.
Oh.
I doubled down on Ma Rainey.
Oh my God, we have the
Perfect.
the centrist, the leftist, and the right wing. I'll let you decide which one is which.
Which is which?
Best sound, all right? Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, Sound of Metal. This is an easy one.
So
3,
easy.
Sound of
2,
Metal.
1. Sound of
Sound of
Metal.
Metal.
Sound of
You don't
Metal.
even gotta wait. Sound of Metal. Say it again. Best original
Sound of Metal.
score. Best original score: The Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, Soul. 3, 2, 1.
The
Minari.
Five Bloods.
I'll
haven't
give it
seen
to The Five Bloods.
Like it just requires an Oscar for something, and if it's nominated for that, I'll give it to that.
See, that's how I felt about Emma. Yeah, I really liked Minari's score. Nomadland had a really good score too. I don't know why that's not on here. Best original song. I don't really recognize any of these. We can.
Wait, I think I recognize one of them. Hold on. What are the ones?
Where's Running with the Wolves? We got Fight for
It's
You.
not original.
Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah. Hear My Voice from Chicago 7. Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes, that one. 100% that wins. I saw Eurovision. That is an incredible song. And like it's a comedy movie with Will Ferrell and like some other person whose name I forget, but it's phenomenal. All of the songs of that movie are incredible. And that is the hottest take that I will drop, and it is correct.
Sheesh.
Period.
Kasey,
Dang.
You got any? Oh, Speak Now. One Night in Miami.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. I'll say Hear My Voice. I'll go with that one.
Okay. Now we're gonna do some medium speed rounds. These aren't quite super speed, but we've got best adapted screenplay and best original screenplay. These are troublesome too. Let's kick it up with best adapted screenplay first. We've got Borat subsequent movie film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. For best adapted screenplay, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear your picks.
I'm sorry, I don't know what Borat subsequent movie film is. Could you read the full title out? I'm a little confused.
It's actually not listed on here because it's too long. The full title is I can't find the full. Okay, Borat subsequent movie film. You want to take the honors?
Sure, I'll take it. Borat subsequent movie film. Delivery of
Can you do it?
bribe to American regime for make benefit once glorious nation of Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Sorry.
Clip it and ship it,
Kazakhstan.
Riley. Throw Kazakhstan straight to the front.
No.
So who's?
You took AP Euro, Kasey. Wait,
Please,
no, that's an
Miss
Asia.
Harrison. Take that.
Damn it.
Don't
you guys
you feel?
We're so
Listen.
stupid.
When in doubt, just don't say anything at all.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
So who's gonna take it, guys, for best adapted screenplay? Who's gonna be the big winner? I'm gonna say Nomadland because that's the only one of these I've seen, and it was a pretty banging adapted screenplay. So
I've seen none.
I'll
Yeah.
say One Night in Miami because it's also the only one I've seen. I've
I
seen,
made that
and it was
pretty
pretty
easy.
good.
We're so educated, guys.
best original screenplay: Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7. Oh, this is a hard one. This is ladies and
Sound of
gentlemen.
Metal.
Gosh. I wonder what this okay, hold on. I'm really curious for what the screenplay for Sound of Metal looked like because there's so little speaking. You know?
It was more
I'm just-
play. It
Right.
was
I'm
more
just
screen and
curious.
play, I suppose.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
But I just want to see it. Best original screenplay though.
God.
Charlie says Sound of Metal.
Yeah, confident.
Would you like
Actually,
to provide-
Minari's pretty good too, but
Yeah,
Minari was a bit passive for me. So Sound of Metal.
Charlie likes his movies a little more active. A little more
I do. That is not a critique of Minari. That is just a
No,
personal
fair.
preference.
And fair enough. And you're entitled to that. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Minari.
God.
Casey's feeling very tested by the Lord right now.
I am.
In
This
this
is
Easter
my come to
season.
Jesus moment.
Casey, you've got a
Um,
choice to make here.
God, I'm sweating. I'm sweating, y'all.
I can tell through the microphone.
Oh no. No.
Do you need a moment?
Yeah, I need a moment.
If you pick one, the other one dies.
Well,
Yeah, this
I
is a
guess
Sophie's choice.
We'll just take a 3-minute intermission here to tell you all
God.
to like and subscribe. If you're listening right now and you made it this far, go drop a thumbs up. Go drop a comment. Tell us what you think Kasey should pick as she sits here deciding. If you want to become a patron, maybe help us get some more editing going so we can speed this kind of process along and not really have to deal with that. Consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Socratic Cinema. I know this isn't one of our patron plug days because it's like the 3rd week of the month or whatever, but you could become a patron anyways if you feel compelled to give back. If you feel like you've gotten something out of the podcast and you want to give something back to the podcast, consider throwing a couple bucks our way at patreon.com/ Socratic cinema. Thank you. And now back to the show. Kasey, have you made up your mind?
Yeah, I'll go with Judas and the Black Messiah.
And she goes with Judas and the Black Messiah, everyone.
Wow. Bold.
Thanks.
I don't know if you guys could hear me clapping or not, but I was clapping.
We could hear you. I felt very appreciated.
I'm proud of you. That was a tough decision to make.
Thanks.
You did good.
I appreciate this is positive reinforcement. I like it.
Well, this is actually really weird because 3 out of the 5 of these movies are real stories that pretty much happened.
Yeah.
Dang.
So,
Pick which part of history you like better.
Literally.
We've got 2 left, and that's it. We've got Best Director and we've got Best Picture.
Oh my God, who's in Best Director?
God.
Oh, funny you should ask. The nominees for Best Director are Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, the floor is open.
Lee Isaac Chung.
And Charlie throws a bone to Minari.
It is the only movie I've seen out of the 5 of these.
Okay, well, it's like a wishbone,
to
but
discredit
it's
Lee Isaac Chung, it was a phenomenal movie. No, I think that Lee Isaac did a really good job, and if you hear him talk about his actors, he has just a ton of passion for them, and he loves them to bits. And I think that having that sense of community as a director is something that's really admirable. And a lot of a director's work isn't actually seen on the screen. Like, a lot of their job is to create a climate and culture that's conducive to making creative works and making that process flow really naturally. And I can see that very clearly whenever he does anything. So I certainly admire Lee Isaac Chung for that, which is, even though it's the only film I've seen out of the 5 of these, he deserves it for that.
All right. Charlie goes with Minari. Kasey?
Yeah, I'll go with Minari too. Oh, I'd put it over Promising Young Woman. No no shade to Emerald Fennell. The movie was amazing. I saw her vision in it. She definitely, if that was what she was trying to do, she did it pretty excellently. But Minari is just,
It's just better, baby.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Yeah, quick note, Emerald Fennell sounds like an ingredient I would put in something.
Yes.
End of note. Sorry, Emerald Fennell.
I never considered that. Now, for me, this is between Chloe Zhao and Lee Isaac Chung. Chloe Zhao's had a lot of talk around her. I don't know if you guys have heard, but she is a promising young woman in the film industry. I don't know how old she is. I just wanted to make that joke. But I'm hearing a lot of really good things for Chloe Zhao. And for good reason. She did a bang-up job. Nomadland's got to be a hard movie to direct where so much of it takes, the perspective of one person inside a van. But I think she did a really good job weaving a very touching story out of this desolate tale. But Lee Isaac Chung was also really, really good. I could diversify and pick Chloe Zhao, or I could not. I don't know. I mean, Nomadland and Minari, I think I got like similar kinds. I got a similar effect out of both of them. They impacted me in very similar ways. But you know what? 3's a crowd. Let's say Lee Isaac Chung, because why not?
Individuality, baby.
Who needs it?
Conformity's in.
It's the new normal. This is what the liberals want.
Literally, yeah.
And with that,
as a liberal, this is what I.
Yeah. With that all out of the way, we've only got one more category for the evening. Are you ready? Are you ready for Best Picture?
Yes.
As I'll ever be.
Ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, committee, board president, the nominees for Best Picture are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Let's break this down. Let's go systematically. Let's talk this through. Right off the bat, Mank is eliminated. None of us have seen it.
Same with The Father.
Same with The Father. It's off. That narrows it down to Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of the Chicago 7. The floor is open.
I have an obvious answer. because I've been supporting it this entire time, but I think Kasey has seen more of these movies.
Kasey,
I have,
now's your
yeah.
time. Raise your head. Speak your
All
truth.
right. Speak my truth. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just full send it. I have to give it to the Trial of the Chicago 7. And I feel like that's why I've
Mm.
been writing so hard for Judas and the Black Messiah and other categories, because I simply cannot ignore what the Trial of the Chicago 7 did to me at 1 in the morning while I
Dang.
was watching
Wow.
it. Because this movie fully had me looking up everyone who is present in the movie and looking up their works of literature, because this movie grasped me by the throat, looked me in the eyes, and
And what did
told
it say?
me, "Girl,
What
you
did
need
it
to
tell you?
read some more." It
Dang.
literally, it was like, you need, like, it was like, "Oh, you call yourself a revolutionary? Mm,
Hit the books. Everyone a
hit the books."
revolutionary trail. They try to read theory, man.
So they tried it, literally, yeah. This movie, I recommend everyone to see it. It's just amazing. And to think that, now that I'm thinking about it, there's not a huge range of settings, you know? Like, they're in the courthouse, they're in like a office building for the students for democracy, and then they're in the park. Like, those are the three main settings of the entire movie. And they've did what needed to be done in three settings with a all-star cast. In my notes, I have, in like exclamation points, when this man Michael Keaton randomly shows up. Like, are you kidding? I was
Michael Keaton?
losing
Wait,
my
what?
mind.
Wait, you
So
took notes?
yes, I took notes on my
Dang.
on the
We weren't
5
even gonna
movies
talk
that I
about it.
watched.
We weren't even gonna
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah.
Kasey, you make me feel like I'm a horrible member of this podcast.
And maybe you should.
I'm never gonna take notes. I refuse on principle.
Oh
You
my
took notes
god.
on Die Hard. But Kasey, your Trial of the Chicago
I
7?
did.
Yes, I'm Trial of the Chicago 7, and I would also like to put in the bucket that that's something that we fully review, because holy
Oh,
crap. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, Fred Hampton appears in Trial of the Chicago 7 and in Judas and the Black Messiah. And the way that they tied it in, ooh, had me in tears.
wait,
Um,
are they both played by Daniel Kaluuya?
No, played by different actors, but he was, and I
Oh,
thought it was just gonna be a cameo, but he's a huge part of the beginning section. I don't wanna get,
that would have been really cool if they were both Daniel Kaluuya.
imagine
Mhm.
same film universe,
The
the
Civil Rights
Civil
Cinematic,
Rights Cinematic
the
Universe.
CRCU.
Yes.
Let's make it happen, honestly. I'm so down for
I'm
like a
so
historical
down.
cinematic universe. That'd be
That'd be
so
dope.
cool.
We should do that one summer. Like, I'll do that for Black History Month, just stringing together a timeline using movies.
Oh, that would be dope.
Right? All right. I'll write that down. No one has to hold it to me, though. It's not confirmed yet.
He said, "Don't take my word for it."
Don't take my word for it.
Charlie, uh, actually, you seem to have a really certain pick, so I still need to think a little bit. I don't know. Do you want to go?
Sure. So, out of these movies, I've seen Judas, Minari, and Sound of Metal. So it's between those three for me. We know that because of the pacing, I was not the biggest fan of Minari. That does not take away from its quality of a film. That is merely a personal opinion. So really, it's between Judas and Sound of Metal. To me, I felt Sound of Metal was almost personal to me, and I can't really describe why. I just vibed so hard with the emotional core of that movie that it made me really care for Ruben and his whole character arc. And I think that for a variety of reasons, the sound design, the writing, the acting, it just comes together in such a beautiful and moving film that it's really hard for me to ignore it as Best Picture. Judas and the Black Messiah was also phenomenal, and that also like really hit me hard. But there was just something about Sound of Metal that connected with me that would make it, or I would feel guilty if I did not choose it as Best Picture.
Dang. Dang. You sold that, man.
Thank you.
For me, it's between Judas, Minari, Nomadland, and Sound of Metal, just based on what I've seen. Uh, and I really liked all of them. Nomadland and Minari both affected me in a very unique way. I mean, they affected me similarly, but in a way that a lot of other movies didn't, because they're very slowly paced, kind of slow burn. There's not really a strong plot, but they're much more of like a portrait. Nomadland is a portrait of its main character, and Minari is a portrait of this family. And I found that really, really impactful to sort of get this deep dive into these lives, and these very similar stories. Um, but just in terms of the most tightly crafted story here, just all around and all aspects of production, from sound to editing to score to cinematography to acting to writing, I just think overall the most tight was Sound of Metal, because I feel like every other one of these movies I liked a lot about it, but there was aspects where I liked it less. Uh, but Sound of Metal just, it grabbed my attention, and it consistently delivered throughout. I don't think there was ever like a lull or a moment where I wanted to go on my phone or something. And that's a big deal for Gen Z, goldfish attention span phone users, right? So I think with that, I'm gonna give it to Sound of Metal, and thus concludes the Socratic 2021 Oscars award ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out on the 25th if we were right or not. And maybe we'll like do a post show breaking it all down. I don't know. That might be kind of boring. Maybe
Live stream the Oscars. Live stream the Oscars.
Oh, but that requires me to
down.
watch the Oscars live though. Which
Dang, no highlight reels for you.
Oh,
yeah, jeez.
Maybe we'll finally use our Twitch account for that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
I'll live tweet the Oscars from our
Something
account.
to consider. Something to consider. Drop a comment. Well, the Oscars will be in one day by the time you hear this, so we might not have time.
Oh, shoot, really?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is set to come out on the 24th, and the Oscars are on the 25th.
Yikes.
Yep. We're really good at scheduling. But
Phenomenal.
yeah. Maybe we will, if you see that Twitch notification, hey, just in case, follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Socratic. Whoa, twitch.tv/Socratic Cinema. We might go live. We might watch the Oscars. Who knows? It'd be a fun event. In any case, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the Socratic 2021 Academy Awards. You might even get to hear another awards ceremony this year if you're lucky.
Oh,
Maybe.
Whoa.
what could he possibly be teasing?
At this point, I don't really know. We have to have some internal development meetings. But thanks so much for listening. You heard me say it during the mid-show break. If you enjoyed, please do like and comment. We love reading your comments. We try to respond to all of them. I say that like like we get too many to respond to. No, what I mean is we try to respond to all of them. If we see a comment, we'll probably respond to it. Anyways, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already on YouTube, and you can check out our website, socraticcinema.com, where you can find links to all of our other social medias, our Twitter, our Instagram, or whatever else the cool kids are using. You can support the podcast for as little as $1 a month on patreon.com/Socratic Cinema if you like the show and want to help us grow and continue to move on to bigger and better things. If not, that's totally fine. It's always going to be free. I'm not going to make you pay. What do you think this is? But at any rate, thanks so much. Did I miss anything, gang?
No, I
think
think
so.
you got it.
All right. Well, I'm really hungry, so I'm probably going to go eat dinner. Thanks for listening. And we've been the Socratic Cinema Podcast. Adios.
Adios.
Adios.